Payers. If them back,
Good morning,
news.
Facebook
Due
folks.
to the financial hardship many are facing in today's economy, the IRS has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Qualifying for this program will resolve your tax problem, end all collections, and possibly reduce your back taxes by up to 90%. If you are facing wage garnishments, liens, bank levies, audits, or payroll taxes, it's not too late.
Good morning,
your
Facebook.
circumstances may qualify you for this special program, protecting your savings
sharing
and your
it
assets.
from
If you
RightPath
owe the
real estate
IRS
page
or
to
state
my
back
personal
taxes and
page.
cannot afford to pay them back,
we're
there's
there
no
live
need to
now.
worry anymore. Call the hotline at Victory Tax Solutions to see if you qualify and potentially save thousands. For this free information, call 800-352-4757. 800-352-4757. That's 800-352-4757.
Are you living with pain? I
a little
was
bit
after a
suspicious
nasty
that people
fall.
are
I got relief with
thanking
1 hour
me
pain
for
relief.
friending
I'm
them
Barry
through
Yarkoni,
Facebook
president.
message.
And here's Lisa,
Right.
a Marine
Yeah,
who was
it's-
injured in
Every time I
Iraq.
friend someone,
After surviving an
or accept a friend
explosion,
request,
I was on
a
horrible
little message
painkillers
will
for
pop up
lingering
saying,
head,
"You're friends
shoulder,
with
back,
so-and-so.
and knee
Start a
pain. But I
conversation.
hated the dangers and
I have
side
no
effects.
interest in doing
My
that.
friend
Yeah,
told
right.
me about 1 hour
Yeah.
pain relief, and
Hey, what's
now
up?
I'm
What's
off
up,
the drugs.
Mahesh?
1 hour pain relief is the result of 15 years of research on an amazing extract from
Good
hops,
morning,
a plant
Jackie.
used to flavor beer.
Whether your pain is from an injury or just aging, you get safe all-day relief in less than 1 hour.
We're so sure you'll love 1 hour pain relief too that we'll send you a 1-week trial for just a small shipping charge. Call 800-269-4200 right now. That's 800-269-4200. There's no gimmicks, no obligation, no automatic
We'll have
shipping.
to get you a RightPath
Stop
sticker
living with
for your,
pain.
for your
Call
iPad.
800-269-4200 for your 1-week trial
see about
or
that.
visit onehourpainrelief.com.
That's funny.
That's
I'm also gonna be doing a,
800-269-4200.
The following program does
Dark
not
Path to
necessarily
private
represent the
lending.
Oh, yeah?
views or
The dark side of
opinions
private
of the
lending.
staff,
Yeah, with,
management, or ownership
Keith.
of this station.
It's time to get on the
it's
right
gonna be like a
path
Saturday
with
kind
Right
of thing
Path
with,
Real
Oh, nice.
Estate Radio with
Okay.
Tom Perry. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today.
When you move to a new place.
We're shooting for May 1st.
All right.
Signed the lease yesterday.
Because that's like 2 minutes from my office.
Yeah. Yeah, 11451 Katy Freeway. The one,
Get
the
ready.
University
The
of
guide
Phoenix
that will
Tower.
put
Yeah.
your fears behind you is on the air now. Taking calls
thanks
at
for that, Valley.
713-785-1817.
All right, stand by, guys. Hot mics in 5, 4,
877-881-0271.
2,
Now here's your host, Tom Perry.
Hey, welcome to the show, RightPath Real Estate Radio. Wednesdays are normally Jason and I in the studio, but I'm delighted to welcome to the studio Gerald Ellert. He's with Ellert Law. Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, want to go right into our call-in number because I know y'all are going to have questions today. You know, there's all kinds of things to talk about when we start talking about legal. So, we're going to say, hey, keep it legal today. 713-785-1817 is our call-in number. In Houston, we're live from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. In Dallas, we're rebroadcast from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And do you practice law in Dallas also?
I practice law in the entire state of Texas.
I know you're licensed to do that, but do you seek out clients in Dallas? Do you want to? Are you trying to expand in that market?
Well,
I mean, do you want to show up at a courtroom in Dallas?
I can.
Okay, yeah. I know you can, but do you want to?
Yes. Dallas, Austin. I love hanging out in those cities. Great towns to be in.
Yeah, perfect. So, yeah, I mean, we go to Dallas on a regular basis. We're going to be there twice next week. In fact, the next time that you can see us, and I know you'll be there in person as well, you'll be at the event tomorrow night.
I will.
At the 9999 Westheimer. It's our Houston RIA meeting. I'm going to be talking about how to estimate a rehab in 15 minutes or less. And then in Dallas, we're going to be in Dallas April 25th at the Quest IRA offices on from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And if you want to find out more about that, go to Facebook. If you're not a Facebook person, you really need to be because we broadcast live on the Book of Faces. We simulcast our radio show. You can catch us live on AM 1110, or you can catch our podcast later, either on the business1110ktek.com website. Just go to Listen Live or the podcast section. You can also go to iTunes. You can go to iHeartRadio. You can go to TuneIn. Lots of places, but the easiest place to find us is on the Book of Faces because you can see the audio and the video. You can see I have a face made for radio.
Likewise.
So now let's talk about law. So anything exciting happening in the world of law in the last couple of since we talked to you a month ago.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I kind of kept my head down for the most part. Kind of kept aware of what was going on. Of course, we had a new Supreme Court justice.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, sworn in. So now we're up to a full 9.
So one thing I saw on his first day on the job, he was actually probably more active than most of the justices. Certainly more than a typical rookie justice in terms of actually interacting, asking questions. Most rookies kind of keep their head down low and stay kind of quiet, right?
Well, every justice on the Supreme Court has their own personality.
Correct.
Everyone's got their own favorite, and he's still trying to find a style on the Supreme Court. Although he's been on the Court of Appeals, I forget which district it was, but he's been on a district court Court of Appeals justice for quite some time. So he's not new to the bench. He's a seasoned practitioner.
Now, I also saw that there was a situation where there's a little bit of a hubbub whether he's going to recuse himself from one of the particular hearings that was taking place. Did he end up doing that? I missed that news story.
I'll be honest with you.
You missed it too?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
We'll have to look that up on the break.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of interesting stuff in the law. There's always interesting stuff, but it's only for us geeks and nerds that are into the law. Get some big ones come through, and I think in July, I'll come back through and do a legislative update from the stuff that's happening in Austin on the odd years.
Yeah, the great thing about our state legislature, one of the things that I feel like that our economy does so well is the fact that we only have politicians that meet once every other year.
And we pay them like a couple $1,000s total.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I think that's the way it should be. Maybe if we did that for our federal government, we would have fewer problems at the federal level.
It used to be like that.
Yeah.
Well, not every other year.
Can we bring that back?
Well, there's definitely a push to take away their Cadillac packages.
That would be awesome. So let's talk about a little bit all the different ways that we have used your services. Because when people hear about attorneys, I know that there's all the jokes, and we'll cast those aside for now. But we can say all the bad things that we want about what we think about the attorney profession, but there is definitely a need, and when you understand how attorneys can be used, to solve problems. And one of the problems that we have, for example, is from time to time we find that a person that is entitled in a property, not typically 100% of the property, but sometimes that person gets incarcerated.
Yes.
And it's difficult for us to go in, because we're not on their visitation list. They're limited in terms of when they can see visitors and things like that. But as an attorney, you can go in under attorney-client privileges and have a lot more access to that particular person. Can get signatures when we need them done and things like that. And we've hired you in the past for those services. And in fact, we have a case right now. Guy has 1/12 of the piece of property. And it's difficult for us to communicate him because he apparently has been thrown in the hole for a while.
Sure.
Yeah, and so we can actually send him letters, but apparently he doesn't even have enough money to respond back. He doesn't have enough credits in his house account, so to speak. I don't know what that's actually called.
Yeah, so there's an account, a trustee account for every inmate in the TDC. So they have to have certain funds in there to
buy stamps, to buy letters, to buy a pen, all that kind of stuff, right? So,
sure.
So we actually sent him, self-addressed stamped envelope to send it back to us, extra paper, those kind of things. Hopefully they provide pens, don't they?
You're pushing past where I know.
You don't know all the ins and outs of inmates and what they get and what they don't get, right?
Well, I was a psych tech for Harris County through MHMRA.
Yeah.
So I babysat a couple of on the psych floor for Harris County.
Oh, nice.
I did that for about 5 or 6 months before I got married, and I actually babysat the railroad killer. He was sitting on one of the cells that I was in charge of.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting, some of the ways that things are done inside.
The other thing I know comes up a lot with brand new investors is corporate formations, all that kind of stuff. I know that there's at least several of the big name, if you will, or national real estate education companies, and they go, you need these 7 different LLCs, and you need an LLC for your children and your grandchildren, and this LLC needs to own that LLC and this other. I mean, it's like, man, by the time you end up spending $20,000 on these LLC formations, you've got a lot of money down the drain, and what a lot of people don't realize is you're overcomplicating what should be a relatively simple business.
Yeah, so you get 2 attorneys in the room, you'll get 5 opinions on how to form entities and what kind of structure you should be doing. on something like this, so first of all, if you're just getting started, go out and do a deal first.
Yes.
You got nothing to lose.
Amen, brother.
So
that's one of the things that Jason and I really talk about is like, hey, you know what? Until you actually do a couple of deals and figure out whether or not you like this, you're good at it. I mean, it's like, if you're going to start a restaurant, unless you're buying a franchise or something like that, if you're going to start a restaurant from scratch, you better like being around food, right?
Yeah, a lot.
You better like cooking. You better like a lot of those things about the restaurant business. And you might want to serve some meals to some other people, see if other people like your cooking too before you actually go and expend, lots and lots of money, form a corporation, all those kind of things. Like give it a try first. And real estate is one of those things outside of your primary residence. You might want to try flipping some houses, doing some buy and holds, things like that before you actually go making the corporate structure.
And a lot of it, I recommend people trying to find what they like best because real estate is a beast.
It is.
I mean, you can go into it and you say real estate. Well, that's a huge enterprise. You pick out what part you like doing best. I quickly found to myself that I do not do rehabs.
Yeah.
I could swing a hammer, but my stuff looks ugly. I'm not skilled in that technical area, and I definitely appreciate the guys that do. So I found that where I really shined was in marketing and signing up contracts and structuring transactions. So that's where my focus was. When it comes to forming corporations and structures, obviously it's going to depend on what you're doing. Some people, they want to do the whole shebang. So after they've been in it for a little while, 6 months, they've done a few things, they've at least done one flip.
Right.
They might have, some people just do the landlord type stuff.
2 minutes.
That gets a little more interesting on that side, how you hold the properties you're going to keep around for a while. So you can split up between the acquisition, the rehab, and then the buy and hold. So it depends on where you want to start.
So we only have less than 2 minutes before we go to a break. You're listening to RightPath Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. I'm sure you're going to have some legal questions. You want to give us a call, ask about corporate finance, financial institution structure, setup, all that kind of stuff. I see that a lot of people try and, what I say, overcomplicate the process. And, I've heard people say, well, you never want more than 5 properties in an LLC at a time if you're doing buy and hold, which means if you need 20 LLCs if you're going to do, 100 buy and hold properties. I'm like, does that even make any sense?
It may for sometimes, but usually not.
Yeah, I would say there might be one scenario where you say, hey, I've got 5 properties in 20 different cities.
How big are they?
Yeah, exactly, right.
1 minute.
So and then I've also now you look at, is it single family, is it multifamily? I would recommend if you're having one LLC for one multifamily property, for example, which
definitely makes sense.
It does make a lot of sense. So
I go back to eggs and baskets.
Eggs in baskets. Describe that.
Well, how many eggs in a basket? If you drop the basket, how many eggs do you want to have to crack?
Yeah.
So if they're big eggs, maybe one big basket will work for it. But if there's a lot of little eggs, that'll work too. It depends on your risk tolerance.
Yeah, so do you want like 100 little quail eggs, or
Yeah.
do you want one really big ostrich egg, right?
There you go.
Yeah, got it. So you're listening to RightPath Real Estate Radio. Gerald, what's the best number to get a hold of you?
346-231-1120.
Okay, we're going to continue this conversation on the other side of the break.
Clear.
Thank you. Clear.
Right.
If you have
That means
cracks
something
in your
different on the
walls,
radio. Right?
ceilings,
Yeah.
or floors, you may have a foundation leveling problem. Do you have doors that stick or just won't open right? Maybe you have gaps in the bricks of your fireplace. You need Green Tree Foundation Leveling, a fast, high-quality foundation leveling company based here in Houston. They know how hot it gets on the Gulf Coast. High summer temperatures, heavy rainfall, and clay-rich soils are leading causes of foundation cracks. If you have a cracked slab or a shifting
Yeah, on purpose,
foundation, call
We
Green
didn't.
Tree
Oh, they did?
Foundation
No,
Leveling
we were there
at
first.
832
And then
329
they added theirs on this side.
1687. How old is your house? Many older homes in our area require foundation repair simply because of our climate and soil conditions. Green Tree
Yeah,
Foundation
yeah,
Leveling
this-
provides
this
free
one's
estimates
closer to
within
the road.
24
Yeah.
hours.
And
They
then those
repair
kind of
concrete
signs, we
slab
always put the one
foundations and pier and
closer to
beam
the
homes
road.
too. The experts at Green Tree
Hey, have
Foundation
you moved
Leveling
a house?
work fast and offer
Have we ever
competitive
moved one?
rates,
Never.
even a
Okay.
lifetime transferable warranty.
I guess some of those,
Call
pier and beams that you moved from,
832-329-1687
I had a
to schedule
aunt
an
one time when
appointment
I was
with
a
Green
kid,
Tree
moved
Foundation
a house
Leveling.
from one location out to Stafford.
Junk King is your
And,
full-service junk
right.
and clutter removal solution.
I've
just
never,
point
we've never
and
done
we will
one
do
like
all
on
of
an
the work.
investment property.
Junk and clutter can be appliances,
my-
furniture, yard waste,
my video game.
trash, construction or remodeling debris, items left by former tenants, or anything you wish to dispose of that does not require a permit for hauling. Apartment, attic, garage, and office cleanouts or yard cleanups. We even assist with tenant evictions where law enforcement is present. Our courteous, uniformed, and professionally trained teams provide you with free estimates.
Yeah,
we
but
will
you
beat
get
any comparable
quite a
competitor's
selection of
written quote,
vendors
and
coming
we
through.
even sweep up after every job at no
for
additional
you.
cost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Junk King is the greenest
Yeah,
junk hauling
this guy's
service
new, too.
in North America. We donate,
Junk King?
recycle, repurpose, and reuse as much as possible from every load, and we are averaging
Fast Track, we've
60
used Junk King
to 80%
for quite a while.
nationwide. Fully insured, Junk King would love the opportunity to showcase our services
we've never-
and earn your business.
The roll-off containers, things like that, we've never really liked the
junk.
roll-offs because it kind of shows.
Are you an active real estate
that, hey,
investor?
there's
If
something
so,
there.
Yeah.
a real
Yeah,
estate
exactly.
attorney is a crucial member to add to your team.
Yeah.
Contact Alert Law at 346-231-1120.
You always sound different
Alert Law
yourself.
serves clients in real estate and business law with principal offices in Houston and their acquisitions and dispositions. We are equipped to serve you in your residential and
Hi, Zark.
commercial real estate law needs. Contact Alert Law at 346-231-1120. We draft and review docs and structured transactions and represent you in disputes and litigation.
I love
Or
yours. It
choose
says,
one of our
too
transaction
many dead
packages
people
to
in
cover
title?
your sub-2, wholesale, wraps, or private financing deals. Our business and commercial services include business contracts,
Hey, a thing
entity
came up,
formations,
yesterday
and business
in
consultations.
probate.
If you need a reliable, dedicated firm
Mom
to
and Dad
serve
got
on
a
your
divorce.
team, contact
They had
Alert
3 kids
Law
together.
at 346
Dad got the property in the
231
divorce.
346
Of the
231
3 kids,
1120.
one of them
Paid for by
died
Gerald
before
Ehlert,
Dad
Principal
did.
Offices
He had
in
2
Houston,
kids.
not board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization.
Then Dad died.
Are you
without a
expecting to
will.
close accurately, on time,
Do
and with
the
lots
3
of
kids
communication on
inherit
your home
property or just
purchase?
the 2
You've come
surviving?
to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with
we have,
Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to
Extra
give
piece
our
with
borrowers and
representation.
referral
So
partners
the
an
grandkids
amazing
will take
experience during
their
the loan
parents'
process. My team
Okay.
believes in putting
Or the wife.
people and culture before results. Our company
Yeah, wife was already
concentrates on
divorced,
building those teams who
and
operate
he
with
got the
structure,
property,
process,
so she's
and
out, right?
recognition for going
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
extra
Yeah,
mile
that makes a
for
difference.
you.
Right.
This way,
But
we have the
I
energy
thought
to
that-
make this your
Now, I
best
know
home
that
purchase
if-
ever. Give us a call
Dad
today
died
to find
and all
out the
3
simple
kids are
steps
alive
to
and
get
then one of the kids
started.
dies,
I'm Jennifer
then
Hernandez, the
kids inherit,
Hernandez
'cause the
team
dad's
at
inherited and
Legacy
they're
Mutual
inheriting the dad's
Mortgage.
side.
Jennifer.legacymutual.com
even if the dad
or
predeceases?
call
Yeah.
713-579-3611. Again,
Order of death doesn't matter in that situation.
Well, what happens
jennifer.legacymutual.com.
is it's
We can't wait to consult with you soon.
the first line that would
NMLS
take, takes, and then
514497.
Equal Housing Opportunity
descendants,
Lender.
take
NMLS
their
514497.
ancestral
This
share.
is
So-
business.
All right, fellas, stand by.
But if their ancestor didn't exist at the time,
Yeah.
would they get a share?
All right, stand by,
I'm
fellas.
standing
All right,
by.
guys. Hot mics, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back. RightPath Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. You know, we said we'd look up on the break whether or not he recused himself. We didn't do that. We'll have to do that on the next break. All right, I promise I'll do that. I'll make a note. Recuse yourself. The Supreme Court, did he do it? Maybe someone can post on the Book of Faces. So you're listening to RightPath Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817 is our phone number. We're a call-in show. We're live in Houston from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. We're rebroadcast in Dallas from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Feel free to give us a call. We've got an event coming up tomorrow evening. You can go to meetup.com, sign up for the Houston RIA. It's at 9999 Westheimer. That's the West Chase Hilton. We'd like you to register. It's a free event. Doesn't cost you a dime to come through. There'll be lots of networking. There'll be vendors there. You'll get a chance to meet. If you've ever considered getting into buy and hold, buy, fix, and flip, or wholesaling, it'll be the hottest event to go to. There's also an event tonight. Well, Jason and I, are you going to the event tonight? I assume you are.
The big one with
the big one at the
yeah.
Redneck Country Club.
Redneck Country Club.
The Redneck Country Club. Yeah. So I'll be there. Probably be one of the biggest events. Probably won't be as big as last month, but it'll be big. It's definitely going to be big. I mean, they had Dots Hour last month, and the economist formerly with Texas A&M University.
Yep.
And this month, I don't know who they're going to have, but it's always a great time. I don't know that there's a bigger event in all of the state of Texas for real estate. Investors.
Yeah, no, and it's a great location. It's huge. It's got places to go out, spill out to the outside.
Yep.
So yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah, we're going to be there. So come to that. And if you can't come to that, for sure come tomorrow night. Preferably come to both. It'd be a great opportunity. And then next Tuesday, the 25th, catch us in DFW at the Quest IRA offices up in Addison. So just Google search that, or you can go to themeetup.com, or you can go to Facebook.com, like our Right Path Real Estate page, and Valley has posted a link to our meetup, and also we also have a weekend retreat coming up as well next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Dallas. and that's going to be, I believe, at the DoubleTree. So, and you can go to our Eventbrite page for that. So Gerald, what's the best phone number to reach you?
346-231-1120.
So you help with title issues. You help with evictions, right? Got any good eviction stories?
No, they've all, well...
Well, no, they've all been pretty. Oh, wait a minute. There's
I can't talk about that one.
You can't talk. Oh, come on, really? Attorney-client privilege kind of thing?
It's still active.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we've got some. Jason's the person who has done most of our evictions, although we're handing that. Jason's time is way too important now.
Sure.
And so we're handing all of that over to you. And we have had some crazy, like write a book kind of crazy eviction stories. I mean, we had one person that when we started the eviction process, we bought a house and he was in it, and he was an at-will tenant, no lease or anything like that.
Right.
And he wanted 6 months to move out, and we were like, nah.
Nope.
6 months is really not going to work. Probably the most I can do is like 60 days.
Was he paying?
He was not paying anything.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, he wasn't paying anything. So we said, look, most I can consider is 60 days. I mean, I really want you out in 30 days. In fact, if you can be out in 15, I'll give you $6,000.
You didn't take that?
And I said, look, and he goes, well, I don't know if I can do that. And I'm like, if you're out in 15 days, $6,000. If you're out in 20, it's $5,000. If you're out in 25, it's $4,000.
It kind of drops off.
It drops off, yeah. It was a diminishing return. And I said, now, here's the other thing is, if we agree that the maximum amount of time you have is 60 days, we got to stay in communication between now and then, because I'm not going to wait till day 59 and say, hey, Bob, how's it going? You know, well, I'm still looking for a place. I mean, we're not going to get to that point. You know, if you're going to be out by day 60, certain thing you got to contact a moving company or make arrangements. You got to find another place to live. I mean, all these things got to happen in advance, right? And he didn't want to be held down to any certain timelines or all that kind of like, hey, well, we've got another alternative. We can start this eviction process, and the constable can have you out pretty much in 21 days, right? And so we're trying to do it a 21, 25, 30 days, something like that, right?
At will, you have to do a little bit differently, but yeah.
So anyhow, so yeah, we were... What we knew is we could probably have it done quicker than 60 days.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so we felt like we were being generous, and we wanted to do it friendly as possible. Well, apparently he was more mentally messed up than what we had first realized. And he took another alternate choice on how to end his problems. Oof. And made it more of a permanent solution. We were really saddened by that.
Wow.
Yeah. It was.
Those are always rough.
Yeah, it was really rough.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird going to the eviction hearing to the constable, not the constable, the justice of the peace.
The JP.
Yeah. And this is something a lot of people don't realize is JP doesn't have to be an attorney, right?
No, they do not.
Yeah, so it's an elected position.
They don't have to have no law degree, no anything else. Yeah, because it's a very quick.
No law knowledge whatsoever, right?
Technically, no.
Yeah, right.
Most of them are. Most of them, do this for, that's part of their profession. And because they have jurisdictional limits, they can only hear cases up to $10,000.
Yeah.
Yes, and to carry that a little bit further, when you go to like district court and you have to actually file motions, and it's a good idea to have an attorney. When something like that happens, you have to file a motion of suggestion of death to let the court know that one of the parties is deceased now.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's called a suggestion of
suggestion of death.
Huh.
Yeah, we got it covered.
Okay.
There's a way to handle that too.
Yeah. So why would they call it a suggestion of death? Why not just?
That's one of those legal history things. I mean, it's kind of about as
delicate
humorous.
And polite.
Yeah.
Polite and, on a very serious and dark subject.
Your Honor, the opposing party is no longer with us.
Yeah.
No longer among the living.
Yeah. He'll be difficult to serve today.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna make an appearance.
Yeah,
if
right.
he does, I'll probably leave.
Yeah, and you can cancel his meal choices for the day as well. Hey, Luke, what's up? You're saying hello on the Book of Faces, and
what does Luke have to say?
He just said, "Hey, what's up, guys?"
Hey.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? All right, so we talked about evictions. You do those. We talked about corporate formation. You do those.
Absolutely.
We talked about going into prison
when necessary.
as a visitor.
When necessary.
As attorney-client privilege, you do that as well. What else are things that you love to do on the legal side?
A lot of it's doing the dispute resolution. So a lot of times, people have disputes, and they first option is always to try to get that resolved without getting someone like me involved. I come onto the playing field. It changes the ante at that point in time. So kind of resolve some of those disputes. A lot of times there's a contractor dispute. Sometimes it's a buyer-seller dispute. And a lot of times, you can go through the probate issues to get those resolved also. Then there's beyond contract disputes, boundary disputes also, trespass to try title, adverse possession. Hey, I've been paying on this property for the last 20 years and the taxes, no one's ever claimed it and showed up. There's different statute of limitations depending on what you've been doing with it. So we can help, get absolute resolution on those issues.
And you can help with probates of wills, those kind of things as well?
You want to do a tax foreclosure, we can work with you on that. Take care of some of the probate issues. So if you got a house you want to buy, but the seller was not technically on title, but they're an heir to the estate, and the title company, a lot of times the title company can resolve a lot of this stuff in-house without involving me.
Right.
But when it comes down to the point, it says, yeah, they performed all the magic they can.
Right.
And it says, no, we need a court order or something like this. And then we go to court, we go through the probate system, and we get a determination of heirship or something along those lines. And when we say probate, there's a lot of different types of quote unquote probates.
Right.
So there's muniment of title, there's small estates, there's determination of heirship. Then if you have to go full probate, hopefully we can do it independently without the court oversight.
Right.
But if we have to, the court can do dependent administration, which means everything you got to do, the court's got to sign off on it.
Yeah, that's probably the most onerous in terms of complying, right?
And more expensive.
It's the slowest process, the most expensive way to go. If you can avoid it, be better.
Now,
so Nikki's telling us that we've got a caller. So Mahesh from Houston calling. Hey, welcome to the show, Mahesh.
Hey, Mahesh.
Hello, Tom. Good morning, Gerald. How are you doing?
What's your question for us?
So the question is, I'm buying a rental property, closing in 2 weeks, and there is a tenant already in there on a month-to-month basis, but probably for some reason he did not pay the last month rent because of the job loss or something. Now, what is the best way to approach it? Should I keep him on a month-to-month and see how he performs, or should I just evict him right away and then put a new tenant?
Well, something like that. Whenever you buy the property subject to parties in possession, and you look at the Schedule C, the last one, that's going to be one of the things on there. So when you buy the property, you buy with a tenant in place. On something like that, you can handle it a couple of different ways depending on what your model is, where your property is, what kind of what you're looking to do as a landlord. So if they are someone, first thing I would do, if they're month to month and the lease is expired, I would say go ahead and you want to keep them, or at least try to keep them around, is put them on a sign a lease with them. Get it in writing what you're going to do, what their requirements are. If they don't like the lease, then you have to start the eviction process. On something like that, you're probably looking for a tenancy at will, an eviction on that. You have to give them a 30-day notice to quit the property, then a 3-day notice to evict. Then you can start the eviction process. So it's not the quick, on the first, payments due.
So it takes about 51 days in that scenario,
51
right?
days, yes.
Or you could do a friendly eviction, offer cash for keys.
Cash for keys. A non-litigation solution is, hey, look, if this isn't going to work out for you, well, we do the friendly way. I'll give you the money to be out of the property quicker, or we can do it the not so nice way, which I involve the courts.
I would say that. There's two tracks that I look at just from a business standpoint, not necessarily from a legal standpoint, and I kind of amateur psychologist in terms of why people do the things that they do. I mean, there's typically what they say that is their reason, and then there's the actual reason. And it sounds like if you sat in a psych ward, you understand a little bit about
Both,
people's motivations and things like that. And what I recognize is oftentimes investors don't sell properties that are rental properties just for the heck of it. So they will normally want to sell their problem properties.
Sure.
And it's either the tenant's a problem or the property's a problem. We have one of our one-on-one mastermind students, and they said, man, we just hated this one particular property, and, it was just a headache. We were thinking about selling it, and then that tenant moved out, and we got a new tenant in, and now we love the property. And I'm like, well, the property didn't change, right?
It's never the problem.
Yeah, exactly. It's never, ever the problem. It's always going to be the tenant that's going to make you hate that property. It's going to make you have bad, memories and all that kind of stuff. And so if it got to the point that an investor selling it, And, you know,
1 minute.
My assumption is that this is not the first time that this guy has missed it. Now, then you say, hey, is his loss of a job, is that because there was a downsizing, was in an oil and gas field or something like that, something that we know about, you know, as a group, or is this like a chronic thing?
He's something with the tenant itself that caused the loss of job.
Yeah. Did he lose another job at McDonald's?
Or, you know, so if that's the case, you know, that's the scenario, then you're looking at, you know, they're going to be a problem tenant for you too.
Yeah, forever. So forever and ever and ever.
And when you sign the lease, you know, do the background checks, do all the regular screenings that you're going to do anyway.
Right.
And if they don't qualify under your regular terms, then you can't qualify to stay there.
Yeah. The other thing that we've done, we've actually gone on our standard leases. We have a pretty onerous late payment situation. We'd rather have under market price in terms of rent by a little bit, $25, $30. I don't mean like $100 cheaper than market rent, things like that. But we'd rather be $25 or $30 cheaper and get paid on time on a timely basis. But it's like, man, if you're late, we want it to hurt. We don't want it to be a $10, we want it to be $50 or $60 because not that we want that extra fee. We really just want to be paid on time.
Yeah.
That's our issue. So you're listening to RightPath Real Estate Radio. Give us a call, 713-785-1817. Mahesh, did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Okay. So we're going to continue on the other side of the break. Thanks a lot.
Aylert Law helps wholesalers and real estate agents get deals closed. Seller has too many title defects.
Oh, yes, they're good. Clear.
Taxman wants to slice your pie. We work with sellers and title companies to resolve those defects and get clear close so you get paid.
What about an individual that passed away before closing and it passes to their heirs?
Contact Aylert Law at 346-231-1120. 346-231-1120. Paid for by Gerald Aylert, Principal Offices in Houston, not board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization.
Gosh.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com.
One of those cases coming up, though.
281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
They only have so many days to hear argument, and then they go to discussion.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when.
We have another
Foundation
caller,
Check
Robert
for
from
a truly
Houston.
independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs to tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S. Call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
This is business.
All right, guys, stand by. Don't forget about Robert. Hot mics in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back. RightPath Real Estate Radio. We want to try and help you put the fear of real estate investing behind you. So if you want to learn how to buy and hold, you want to learn how to buy, fix, and flip, you want to learn how to wholesale properties, residential, commercial, multifamily, we can talk about all of those things. I'm joined live in the studio with Gerald Ellert. He's our attorney.
Good morning.
And the best phone number to reach you?
346-231-1120.
And we also want people to, if you have any kind of questions about any of those things, put your fear of calling behind you. Call us 713-785-1817. Robert has done just that. He's calling from Houston. Robert, welcome to the show.
Thank you. My question is about eviction court. I'm going Tuesday, and my worry is about the tenant potentially taking out appliances from the house and maybe ceiling fan or what have you. What can I say to the judge when I'm in eviction court to ask them not to take the appliances out, or do I have to wait until the deed is done and then follow up and go to the local police department or go back to my constable? How does that work?
Well, one of the things you do, I mean, if those things are not part of the lease, you know, it's not something that they put in. So sometimes they'll put in their own stove or a range or something like that. If it's their property, then of course they can take those out. What you're talking about are fixtures that are attached to the property, and those are actually part of the land and they're your property. So if they take them out, that'd be theft. And on something like that, if you have a fear, you know, because they ask the judge, you know, say, look, Your Honor, you know, because you know people are usually pretty reasonable. You don't want to make unfounded accusations or any reason. You know, Your Honor, I have a concern that the tenant may be taking the fixtures from the property, and of course, you know, the judge is going to think, well, no, you can't do that, and admonish him not to do that. If there is a fear, you could have a security guard placed outside, you know, for the time period. You know,
yeah, you know, it's one thing for you to tell them, hey, you can't do that, right? It's another thing when the judge says, hey, you can't do that, right?
Yeah, it's just common sense.
Yeah, so that carries a little bit more weight when the judge is saying, hey, I'm putting you on notice. You better not do that.
Yeah, and you definitely want to take pictures of, you know, before and after. That way they can see that, you know, that something's been happened. And then if they do take them out, you file a police report and you file a claim on your insurance.
Yeah. You know, it's amazing how oftentimes people, you know, when they move into a rental property and it's not exactly the way they want it, you know, they want to update it themselves, things like that. They say, hey, well, I added that ceiling fan. I ought to be able to take it with me when I go. Well, that's not the case, because once it's attached to the property, it's actually a fixture to the property, correct?
Well, there's some differences. So if you allow them to put in a different ceiling fan, then they have to put back your ceiling fan whenever they're done.
Okay, got it. If there was a ceiling fan there before.
Yes.
Okay, and if they don't do that and they want to add a ceiling fan,
I would not allow them to do
fixture, they have to put their own or whatever light fixture you had before, right?
Yeah, so they'd have to replace it back and put it back in the same condition that they got it in. Or they take it out of the deductible. So,
is this a tenant that you put in place, or is this a property that you bought and the tenant was already in place?
Oh, I put them in place.
Okay. And was all the stuff in there when they moved in?
Yes.
But they've not been paying, I assume, and that's why you're evicting them. And what your concern is, this is not a friendly eviction going. Y'all got some bad water under the bridge so far, right?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's what it typically gets to, because you try and work with people, they make promises, then they break their promises, and then it gets to the point where you're evicting them. And now you think that they dislike you to the point that you think that they might, just to go above and beyond harming you, as if it's not enough to have harmed you, that they haven't paid you for the last several months, right?
Yeah, my pocketbook's hurting.
Yeah, I can imagine. So yeah, I mean, I'd say the best thing is just ask the judge. Say, hey, judge, you know, I'm not accusing them of anything, but I do have this worry. I mean, we're not exactly friends anymore, and and so I'm worried that they might be taking this stuff. And I imagine if it comes from the judge, that might carry a little bit more weight.
Yep. And eviction court, you know, JP, if you're down to the justice court for an eviction, technically no one has to be an attorney down there. Not the judge, not the people down there. So there are people that do evictions, and you don't have to be an attorney to represent someone else in JP court for an eviction. So there's that. I think we had another question through the Book of Faces.
Yes, we did. You had a probate question, correct? It says, thanks for the advice. What about an individual that passed away before closing and it passes to the heirs?
So one of the things about whenever you have a contract for the purchase of property on an earnest money contract, equitable title passes to the buyer when the contract is signed. It's contingent upon the buyer being able to give the seller the money that they on the contract. So the equitable title, the obligation to convey legal title, passes to the estate. So the buyer can still buy. It's just a matter of finding who will work with the title company to find out someone who is competent and has the legal authority to convey title for the estate. So the buyer can still buy, it just may be delayed.
Sounds great. So, Jared, what's the best number to get a hold of you?
346-231-1120.
Now, you said the buyer can still buy it, but it may be delayed. How much of a delay are we typically talking about?
Oh, that really depends. One of the common questions I get, I've worked with several investors, and the question I always get on a probate is, how much is it going to cost? And my answer is always the same. Well, it depends on the facts. If they have a good set of facts, a clean, no discussion, no dispute about what the facts are, that goes through very quickly. I say quickly, and it can be 3 to 6 months, probably a little bit sooner than that. So the better set of facts, the less work I have to do, which means less expense to whoever's paying the attorney's fees.
Right.
You're probably looking anywhere from $900 to $1,500 in just court costs and expenses, because usually there's going to be at least an ad litem to be hired, which is another attorney hired by the court, paid for by me or my client, to double check my homework to make sure we're not leaving out the cousin no one liked from the estate.
Right.
So that's just $900 to $1,500 in court costs for a simple probate, the determination of heirship type thing.
Well, I'd say one's going to depend on the facts, right?
Yeah.
Number two, it's going to be depending on the size of the estate, because I mean, let's face it, if you've got a multi hundreds of millions of dollars in an estate, very very rarely is there not going to be some family fighting going on, right?
Yeah, just ask the Prince estate.
You're right, exactly.
He died intestate without a will up in Michigan, so that's going to be a fight and a half.
Yeah.
I think it took Marilyn Monroe's estate is still going on. I think maybe, and Elvis Presley. I think they finally got that worked out about after 75 years.
Yeah, and what was the estate issue? The billionaire that the guest girl married. Do you remember that?
Down in
Anna
Galveston?
Nicole.
Yeah, Anna Nicole. That's
Anna
the one.
Nicole.
Thanks, Nikki. Yeah, Anna Nicole married the billionaire.
Oh yeah.
And apparently he left quite a bit of stuff to her, right?
Yeah,
allegedly.
A very much younger second, third wife, whatever it was, and then the son who was older than the wife. That was a fight and a half that lasted for a long, long time.
Yeah. So if you were buying a property from that person, that would have taken a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it always depends on the facts. So and of course attorney's fees costs on top of that. So if it's very quick, I didn't have to do a whole lot of work. The judge is satisfied. We can get through it quickly and with less expense. So you're probably going to look at between $2,000 to $3,000 at minimum, just to get to maybe a closing table.
Well, you have to look at it from the title company standpoint, right? Because they got to make sure that the person that you're buying the property from actually has the legal right to do it.
Yep.
And you go, well, I'm dealing with the heirs, right?
No.
Well, not necessarily. How do you really know that, right? So first off, is there a will? And then the question is that the only copy of the will? Was that is it a true and good copy of a will? Was it notarized? Was it
the
those?
notary is a little bit. You're asking is a self-proving will at that point.
Correct.
In time.
Yeah.
And there are wills. I mean, you can do a holographic will, which sounds really really cool. That just means it's entirely written in the person's hand.
Okay.
Yeah. And that could be one of the legal cases we study in law school is the guy who wrote his will on the tractor that was crushing him to death in the middle of the field, and that was a valid will. It was just written in his hand on the tractor itself.
Right. So he realized, hey, got a problem going on.
If I don't live, I want everything to go to my boys.
Yeah, that's what he said?
That was valid.
Yeah.
That's a valid will. He knew what he had. He knew what was going on, and it doesn't have to be notarized, obviously.
And you're right. Yeah, he didn't. Wasn't in a situation, if he could have called a notary, he probably would have called somebody to get the tractor off of him, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, that's
2
an interesting
minutes.
story. So the other thing is that in the state of Texas, you have 4 years to probate a will, right?
Well, or have a good reason. because it kind of goes hand in hand with that. 4 year. There's one of the 4 year statute of limitations on the contract. So if there are any debts of the estate, you want to you don't want to wait for the 4 years to pass and then bring in the will to try to defraud the creditors of the estate out of what they're used to.
Sure.
But if it's just been one of those reasons, we didn't have a will, we didn't know there was a will within that 4 years, then the judge and the courts are usually pretty accepting on something like that. They just want to make sure everything is done correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it comes down to is do all the heirs agree that what the will says is what the will says, or those kind of things, right?
Oh, now you're looking at a will contest, and those things can be
messy.
Very messy.
Yeah.
And you have to, if it's a valid will and they knew what they were doing and they knew what their assets of the estate were, trying to fight that is going to be really, really hard. It really doesn't matter.
Right. So guys, if you don't understand it from the radio show that we're doing right now, is that it's difficult to be an expert in all the different things that can and cannot happen when it comes to wills, estates, probates, all of those kind of things. I'm sitting here with an expert. He can be your eyes and ears and more importantly the brain and the resource to be able to go and solve these problems with you and be fighting for you to get the things done the right way. So you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Our call-in number is 713-785-1817. Give your phone number again.
346-230-1120.
I also want to mention you've got an education. You said the dark side of private money lending. Is that right?
That's what guys going on.
So that's a Saturday coming up. Which Saturday is that going to be?
The date has not quite been set yet. Working on location and time. So we're going to be working on all the things that can go wrong when it comes to private lending.
Okay. So that's another thing that you do is you draw documents for like deeds of trust for private money lenders and
first liens, second liens, joint ventures. We could do all kinds of equity structuring and debt structuring.
All right, so we're going to go to a break now. You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. See you on the other side.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success.
Maybe a quick talk on
use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done. Train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
And, no more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes, binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. It's there for you. Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts, Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas, 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Investor loans offering up to 100% financing are still available. You just have to know where to look. Look no further than Noble Mortgage. Noble Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing to investors that covers purchase, repairs, and closing costs. In addition to private money, Noble Mortgage offers conventional loans, FHA, and even no-income documentation loans for both residential and commercial properties. Call and ask about our 5-point guarantee, which includes free pre-qualifications within 2 business days. Call 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com. Our team has over 50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100 or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com, noblemoney.com.
That's a permanent financing solution. But I think it's like
8203 Willow Place Drive.
Between 6 and 8%.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, right. And it's
You found or inherited a great investment
might
property.
be a point.
Problem
maybe
is
less
you don't
than
know
that.
how much it's worth,
So
or
that's
more
very
importantly,
competitive.
what to do to maximize your investment
6 to
while
8.
mitigating
That's not bad.
risk. This is exactly
For
why
a
we
long-term buy and
started
hold, I think it's
Next Gen
financed.
Appraisals. Next Gen is a
I think
group
you
of
lock in the
appraisers
interest rates for like
specializing
5 or
in
7
investment real
years.
estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online
You're just starting
at
on that curve on the amortization scale.
Right.
Curve.
Yep.
1 minute.
Virtuoso Graphics is not your ordinary sign shop. We're your one-stop shop for all your signage and graphics needs. We're located in the Galleria area and have been in business for over 13 years.
So have you got any kind of response?
We offer a wide variety of signage products, including band, aluminum, and ADA compliant signs to 3D letters.
On the radio?
Need something printed?
Media
we can get that done too. From outdoor banners to business cards and anything in between. Take advantage of our laser engraving services. We can custom engrave on many products available through our catalogs
I think anytime
or
we're adding
your own
value
personal
to
items.
the listeners.
From large orders to small, we can accommodate your specific
I never thought
needs.
of that. Or,
we pride
that's
ourselves
something
on
I
customer
hadn't
service and
considered,
work one-on-one with customers to make sure they get a good quality product. Come view our showroom to browse our many samples to get you inspired.
I don't think most people
want your business to get noticed? Give us a call at 713-623-4425 or visit our website at virtuoso-graphics.com.
Is it legal for them to charge you $4,000 as a release fee?
This is Business 1110.
All right, guys, here we go. Hot mics, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. RightPath Real Estate Radio. So we've got questions coming in on the phone and also questions coming in on the Book of Faces. So Daniel from Facebook on our RightPath Real Estate page has asked, if you're buying a probate property and there's a 25-year-old lien that was satisfied but never released, is it legal for them to charge you $4,000 as a release fee? They have no record of the lien. I happen to know about this particular situation because I know Daniel.
Go ahead.
And so what the situation is that they've got a property under contract,
sure.
and I believe that they're wholesaling the property.
Yep.
And there's not a whole lot of money in the deal. The guy that's selling it, they got to closing and all that, and he bought this property from these folks, and it was kind of like an owner finance kind of deal.
Right.
And paid off the mortgage, never got a release. It's been from a long, long time ago. They're trying to get a release of lien because that's what the title company found, this lien, but no release. So they're going to the people that created the lien. They're like, hey, we can't find a copy of it, but our fee for filling out a lien release and submitting it to a title company is $4,000. That's not paying off the lien. And apparently, statutorily, they're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, so the debtor is entitled to release a lien on demand after the lien has been satisfied. So,
and what's the punishment for not doing that?
I had to go back and dig into it, but yeah you can't. That $4,000, you're not. There's no right to that.
So does a lender have a fiduciary responsibility or any kind of legal responsibility to maintain records on the lien? If they can't produce records of the lien, because they're saying that they don't have any records of the lien ever existing.
Well, then how can they prove that they are entitled to release that lien? So again, one of those is we very, very fact dependent. If you put a lien on a property to secure a promissory note or a debt or an obligation on that,
2 minutes.
Then coming off of that, once it's been satisfied, you have an obligation to release the lien. If not, there could be some definite statutory penalties, and then of course, Deceptive Trade Practices Act may be an option too.
Okay. So you're listening to RightPath Real Estate Radio. Gerald, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
346-231-1120.
So, Daniel, hopefully that answers your question. And off air, once we go off of Facebook and all that, I'll give a little bit more of the details about who the players are, things like that, because Colby and I have talked about this. And Colby and I shared a vehicle ride together up to Dallas last week. Hey. And we went from Houston to Dallas on Thursday, had an event Thursday night of last week, and then drove over to instead of just coming straight home to Houston, we went through Wichita Falls on the way home.
Oh, wow.
Which is quite a bit of ways out of the way. So it's 144 miles to Wichita Falls from Dallas, and then 360 back to Houston. So we did about 750 miles in about 36 hours.
Wow.
It was pretty brutal.
That's a long time.
That was a long time. So Colby and I shared a lot of stories, and this was one of them that came up. And so I happen to know about that particular situation. So, okay, so you're listening to RightPath Real Estate Radio. Events coming up. Got to be in Houston tomorrow night at 9999 Westheimer. Need to be at DFW next Tuesday. And then we have our weekend retreat coming up next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Dallas. If you want to find out about any of those events, go to our RightPath Real Estate website. We've got meetup links there. We've got Eventbrite links there, all of that. If you want to get a hold of Gerald for any of your legal needs, probates, wills, loan docs, any of those kind of things, what's your number?
346-231-1120.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. I'll be back in the studio tomorrow.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, sounds great.